There we are. Oh, okay. Go with blue, yeah. I'll take. No. Nice, okay. Okay, yeah, we'll go with that. Okay, controllers, yeah. Have a look. Oh, I see. There is campaigns, ooh. Okay, so with this one being the game that it is, yeah, we're gonna give this a try. Okay, so it's a time trial. It's called Turbo Sliders Unlimited. This one. So the developers were kind enough to give me a key for this one. That's nice of them. Now, I'm gonna guess that if you try and cut a corner, it'll be like you invalidate your lap time. Otherwise, I mean, that'd be pretty bad. So what's interesting about this, for me, is the fact that you can actually... So the car is progressive steering, which is interesting. Normally it's quite sensitive, I find. But this is actually a lot better. The funny thing is, I'm not actually using the brakes. And then. Nice. Okay, let's see. Required for passing 25% 229. Ooh. I was saying you get a much better spin if you don't over accelerate. I'm not gonna lie, the engine sound sounded way better than I thought they would. And I know that like seems like a very small thing because it's like I've only got this one car and everything. But it's not that bad. Like I've heard, you know, certain games sound bad. They just have one tone. But at least this has, you know, at least this has like, it sounds like the car's got gears. environments don't look too bad either. Again, like I said, the games we're playing today, they're indie games. Some games look better than others, but for me, it's... Alright, graphics are always something, but... You know, I think if the aspect of the core game can be fun, then let's see why not. The thing is, this is just the time trial mode. This is the easy bit. So I'm expecting the game to get a lot harder as soon as we move into the races. Now, from what I remember seeing about the game in the trailer, I don't remember seeing if there was any way to upgrade your car to make it go faster. If there is, then great. If there isn't, that could probably be something they could add in. Even though today's stream is going to be on the games and demos, I will be playing 3 games in particular. 2 of them are racing, one of which we've already done with that Tales Noir Rebel Racing. This is the second one, and then the third one is like an action platformer. So the last one will be completely different. Oh, I get it. Right, now I get it. Now I get it. I... 17 more stars to unlock. Ooh. Okay, so we got race against challenges and that. What else we got? Oh, I see. Try that first one again. Try a different car. Okay, don't press that until... Oh, I see. Right. What happens if you try going that way? Yeah, that actually does work. Okay. Oh, look at the start you get. I'm wondering if you know, the car you pick is how you get it. I don't know. Maybe there's a way of cutting that corner, I don't know. Nice. A lot better. A lot of people have played this game, it seems. Okay, should we go with a race? Go. 20 cars? Wow. Holy crap, okay. Yeah, 20 cars is a bit fucking mental, but anyhow. And as well, it looks like rubber banding's a sort of a thing. I'm up to 7th, apparently. Oh. Come on, I'm in the lead, come on. Watch out for the blue shell. Blocking him off. Yeah. Is this using the same car? Yes. It says about levels as well. Vehicle. Now you can go on the Steam Workshop apparently. There's actually a lot of cars in there, wow. Like a hell of a lot. Ah, right, okay. Right, okay. So when you do... Oh, wait. There we go. Just thinking, should we go? Yeah, I'll do another race, why not? So the car is actually one that you can't pick a different car. Like, no, there's more. Ooh. Actually, I've got an idea of what music to play at this point. There we go. There we go. Now we're talking. This is more like it. I think, yeah, CMR2 music definitely works well with us. We're up to 5th position by end of lap 1 now. Come on. That's me not even catching first, nowhere near. There we go. Okay, I can still get 3rd, I can still make it. Top 3, come on. Come on! Oh, there's different cameras, I didn't realise. That actually makes things a little bit more competitive. Feels a bit better driving with this view. I want to. Oh. Well, I found the reset car button anyway. Up to third by end of the first corner. Can we get it? Yes, we can. Sort of. It's an indie game, so I suppose make of that what you will. Yes. Come on, I want to win. Yes. I'll just turn this down. So it's a bit more audible. Oh. I mean, a muscle car, so of course my natural instinct is to ram everyone off the road. It does make for hectic racing, having 20 cars. I'm not gonna lie. Where's first? I don't understand how I'm not. Either my left trigger doesn't work or the brakes don't work. Or they just don't exist. Brakes are weak as anything. I'm putting my brakes on now and nothing's happening. I don't know why. Would come in useful. Yeah, my left trigger stopped working for some reason. Still doesn't start you getting smashed off, but... Yeah, where was he going? Going somewhere. There we go, yeah. I don't know why it didn't... They didn't recognize me. Yeah, didn't recognize me. God. Didn't recognize my left trigger as a friggin' brake button for some reason. I have a feeling it might have a problem with picking up controller inputs. For some reason, a lot of games have the same problem where if one trigger works but the other one doesn't, because one's being pressed down. Or what? There we go. I was saying before about how it's got the it has the problem. Yeah, so I was saying before how it has the problem of the analog. I don't think it does. I think it was just a controller being busted. What is well, because people are like, wait, did they make the music from CMR2? It's like, no, I put the music for CMR2 on because there isn't any. They could probably go with it quite easily. I don't know how you get the 3 stars on a time trial. Generally, I don't. Oh. Nice. Nice. Oh. Nice. Nice. Okay. Supposed to be a heavy car or something, this. So it's supposed to be like a heavy F1 car? Hot Wheels guy probably could be, to be fair. Right. I will just say, so here's the thing, is that if I have a try, I'll try do another 2 races. There we are. Oh, it's this track, isn't it? Of course, it's this bleeding track. There we are. Well, there goes the top. Any idea of a top? Any hope of a top 3 finish is gone. Doesn't feel like I'm going any quicker in this thing, I'll be honest. Probably is. Oh, I came third, but I got 3 stars somehow. Oh, the. Yeah. Honestly, I can't. Unless to do that, then I can. Okay, so let me just try and turn this music down a bit. Okay, so right, okay, so funny how there's achievements for everything in here. Right, so given the fact I haven't got that much into it, is a case of I could probably give a verdict to the developers. So that would be, who's the developers? Just so I get this right and I don't butcher it up. It is made by Anti-Manisto, which I believe is he a one guy person? Yes. Okay. Right. So to put it blatant, so Anti-Manisto, who made that game, yeah. So Anti-Manisto, who made this game. So the release date originally for this game was 27th of April 2022. That's when it was put on Steam. However, it's been in early access for 2 years, and this is like the full game now. Now, I will quickly just mention a couple of things. Straight off the bat, I'll mention a lot of positives and barely any negatives, to be honest. I don't really have too many negatives, but I have one or two. Probably won't be too surprised when I mention them. So, first and foremost, with the game, you have customer. Obviously, you've got. I can get this right. So you've got the ability to create your own games and pick a variety of vehicles. Obviously, you have 4 to start with here. But there are some that you can get in the Steam Workshop, which is great. I like that the aspect of the community. It's being a community-driven game. A bit like Team Fortress 2, games like that as well. They're very community-driven. So great for that regard of things. Obviously, as an indie title, it's not too bad. I'm not going to mention anything to do with the price because, like I said, I was given this for free. The game, I believe, is on sale at the moment for like £12.50 or something. £10 would probably be my limit, personally speaking. But anyhow, price aside, graphics very basic in its design. I'm not going to have a go at the developer for this because a case of, look, you know, we built a game that's like the least part we can do. One that ideally people can play and everything like that. So graphics shouldn't really be an issue. Now, whilst I'm always more of a case of focus on the gameplay rather than the graphics, obviously it helps to have like decent graphics. I don't mean like 4K best graphics you've ever seen in your entire life. Like, I'm not talking Forza Motorsport, you know, I think that's a good comparison. You know, I'm not talking like the latest game technology graphics, just a slight bit of improvement here and there, especially with the environments. I think the environments can do with a bit of touching up, because I noticed in the background the graphics look very rubbish. I think that's the only way I can really put it. They look very blurred in the background, and even if the draw distance goes on, it doesn't look too great in the background. It's only what's on the track where it looks good. Like in the background, obviously it's all blur. But the more off track you go, could do with a bit of improvement regarding that. The cars are very basic, obviously I understand, with copyright reasons. That's the reason why you don't want to go, like, you know, completely, like, make the cars look exactly like the real thing, like they pretty much do from the shell. Engine noises, not too bad, pretty decent. Now, in terms of campaigns, I'm not going to lie, there's time trial and race challenges, okay, fine. But for a full game, like £12.50, I'd probably say you're looking at adding like 1 or 2 extra bits on in terms of game modes. Time trials is one thing, which is fine. Race challenges being another. Which probably create more of a career mode or a campaign that mixes them together rather than separate them. Because having all time trials in one and having race challenges in the other, I get it, you're trying to separate them and not lock things behind others, but good campaigns, or in my opinion, good career modes anyway, in games or campaigns, whatever you want to call them, is a case of mixing them together. So you might have like 2 races in a time trial, or 2 time trials and then a race, whichever. So for me personally, I'd probably mix them together, add in like a 3rd or even a 4th campaign with the likes of checkpoint races, with time extensions and things like, I guess that kind of is time trials, but time trials based, but with checkpoints. And then also maybe do something like autocross, maybe, where you have like coned areas and you have to like weave around them, or, you know, very short tracks, but you have to make sure you don't slide too wide and hit cones and things like that. This might sound very cliche in terms of the racing market, but there are a lot of games that just don't do it that well, or don't do it at all. You know, obviously it depends what sort of game you're going for, which is like, I guess, a genuine racing game with that regard. So I think the time trials and race challenges, great. You've got 2 game series, maybe have like 1 or 2 more. Would be nice to add in 1 or 2 more extra game modes. The other one I'd probably suggest is like destructive mode. Now, I do believe there are weapons in this game. I haven't got round to them, but I do believe that the weapons are in this game, that you can destroy AI and stuff like that. Maybe have that as like its own unique thing as well. Again, as I was saying before, with like mixing them in, mixing the time trials and the races together, that's probably a good idea to do that in that regard as well. Right, so in terms of like positives and changes I would make, that's fine. Right, negatives. Now, again, I'm not going to focus on the price here too much, because like I said, I think £10 would probably be my limit personally, but you sell it however you want to sell it. At least it's not on sale for like 30 quid. I don't think I pay £30 for this. Nothing against the indie developer, just a case of, I think that indie games get the likability because of how cheap they are. And I don't mean like in a sense of, you guys are cheap, that's why we buy you. It's not that. It's a case of, if I pay £60 for a AAA game, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be, racing especially, it's going to be rubbish because there's going to be bugs everywhere and stuff like that. With indie, you can tend to let that slide. And with things being cheaper, it tends to mean sometimes, and in most cases, the indie market is better than the AAA, because with indie, you get to do, I'm not saying you get to do whatever you want, but with indie, you've got all this opportunity and accessibility and creativity, I think, more freedom. Now, granted, I know that does result in indie developers going bankrupt, but you give us some great games. What's they're still active. Now, the next thing that I'm going to mention is quite obvious, in case it wasn't obvious during my time playing this through briefly, is that whilst the cars are fun to drive and sometimes easy or hard to master, depending, the AI in the race challenges I noticed in particular, very difficult. I understand with rubber banding and keeping things very interesting and keeping it action-packed, but maybe tone down the aggressiveness with the AI. 20 AI cars is fine, but then you notice there's always one car bolting in the front, and it doesn't matter how hard you try, you can't catch him. Now, I believe that the AI is completely random, so it has like certain aggressive style, and then it just goes for it, and you just get thrown in at the deep end. A bit like Destruction Derby games used to be on the PS1, I'll be honest, which does make speedruns more fun in that regard. But I think trying to get the stars, to get 3 stars, would be very infuriating for a lot of players. Not just myself, but a lot of players, so maybe turn the aggressiveness down. On that front, the time trials. For the life of me, can't figure out how the hell you get a 3-star. And how people are, skill issue, but in like 5 or 6 seconds advantage over, the entire race. Like, you pick up like 2 seconds a lap. So it's either they're breaking your game without you knowing, or that your ceiling for skill is too high. Personally speaking, I would recommend dropping the difficulty. Whatever, like, the stars thing works, but what I mean is like the times seem a bit too high. But even someone that's experienced as I am with racing games, it's a case of I would bring that skill level, that ceiling, bring it down. Because otherwise, people are never going to beat this game. And I know that you want to give people a challenge. Believe me, getting the fucking 2 stars on some of these time trials was hard enough. Maybe have that as the 3-star, then 2-star being where the 1 is, and so on. Would bring the time trials down a lot in terms of times. Either that, and this is the other thing as well, is being able to pick the cars for the races. I know that you do that in the race challenges, but the time trials are like, yeah, here's a select car, there you go. Would highly recommend being able to pick other cars so that you've got an easier and a much better chance of getting the golds. So, for example, if I could just take like the first, this first one here. Oops. This first track, for example. So you use this Toyota GT86 lookalike thing for the event, and I was going to say 144, 656. But if you were to use like the Mustang or some other car to make, which was faster and better in the corners, then you're able to actually have a shot at beating the times that you've set. Now, the thing is with this as well is it might be a case of being a bit more harsh with putting more barriers in, being a bit more harsh with where the track limits are. Like I was saying before, we did try and cut corners in places, but it was fairly difficult. Obviously, if you go off track, it slows you down. Fair enough. But I would probably recommend, in terms of how to drive and everything, probably put barriers around places so people can't just cut corners. And that, like if you don't want people cutting corners, I would put barriers. I don't mean tire stacks that people can smash through. I mean actual like hard metal rails in to stop people cutting corners so much. And maybe again, like on some of the corners, not all, because you do want that sort of challenge, but you want it to be a case of so that you've got the corners and things like that. Obviously, I don't know how it would work getting the AIs to interact with it. Like I said, turn the aggressiveness down with the AI, personally speaking. But like I said, it just like going back to the start of this review, is that, you know, for an indie game, for what it tries to do, it's not too bad, and I think it has potential. It's just a case of changing up things and adding other things in. One other thing as well, music. Now, again, licensing issues and stuff I get. Would probably recommend, and it sounds silly, the music in the menu, okay, fine. Obviously, I've got it turned off right now, but it's fine. In-game, because of the circuit-style racing, I'd probably recommend having some sort of music. Now, at the moment, I've got playing, you can't hear it on the watch back, but I've got the Conquering Rally 2 arcade soundtrack playing, and made the game a lot more fun. The racing a lot more fun and interesting. It actually felt like it belonged there. Now, wouldn't recommend having maybe more than 7 or 8 tracks. Now, again, this might sound like a big task, but a bit more music for the races would be good. Time trials, again, is up to you. That's optional. But for the races, I'd probably recommend putting them in. Again, nothing too over-ambiguous, but, like, you know, so it fits the theme, I think, would be a good way of saying it. Yeah, so in terms of, if this is the final game and there's only 10 time trials and 20 races, again, there's probably a case of adding more in. Now, I understand one of the key things about this game, above all else, is you can create levels, vehicles, and even campaign editor, which is friggin' amazing. So, I will just say, real quick, just to throw this out there to the developer, is that what you've got is a great, like, so just to kind of sum up, what you've got is a great idea. I do like it as a racing fan, and I definitely think that people should give it a try. Like I said, there is a few additions that I would have. I'd probably switch up the campaign a bit so it doesn't seem like you're just doing all one and then all the other. Kind of mix it up a bit to make it a bit more interesting as we go. The 3-star system thing works. Would probably recommend bringing the times down so they're actually achievable, either that or letting people use some of the faster cars to achieve the higher times. Just saying. Just to make it a bit more, you know, to let any player get into it. And obviously, you know, make sure that the barrier is not brought down too much so it's just a piece of cake to achieve. Now, in terms of the rest, as I said, this game's got an online mode. Now, I haven't tried it because online mode isn't really my thing, I'll be fair. Like, it's not often that I play online modes. I have played, like, Wreckfest and stuff online with friends. It's fun. This probably would be fun. It probably would be hectic, but it's just a case of, as and when I do it, I'm more of a case of focusing on the single player, the solo stuff, than the multiplayer. So the multiplayer probably is great fun, and it looks like it's a lot of fun. With 20 players, it probably isn't like a lot of fun. Like I said, you have the customization with the cars and things like that, which is really, really good. Obviously, you've got an introduction set here, that sort of thing. It even says it there as well, like, community-driven platform, countless possible game modes, possibilities are endless. Well, obviously, if you're able to create your own things, then that works just fine. But yeah, so there's the credits, Anti-Manisto, there we go. But big props off to the Anti-Manisto team, I believe. It's not one guy, it's Anti-Manisto as a team, with the people that are behind it, I think. But yeah, in terms of, like I said, with the game being like it is, so it's Turbo Sliders Unlimited. You know, like I said, probably will recommend it to people. I don't think it's, you know, like I said, it's not too undermining. And for a racing game, yeah, I definitely say give it a try. Like I said, I think having $12.50 is still a bit steep. Maybe have it as £10. So I think about €15, maybe. Or $12.50, I don't know what it is, euro-wise. $15, I think. You know, just have it a bit slightly cheaper. Like I said, I mean, I know I got the game I got the game for free thanks to the developers. Like I said, I'm very thankful for that. But like I was saying, you know, at the end of the day, you've given it me to review, and this is me reviewing it. So yeah, probably like I said, make a few improvements, and yeah, that's kind of the end of the review for this. So thank you to Anti-Manisto, I think it is. Was it Anti-Manisto? Yeah, Anti-Manisto. And yeah, hopefully I wish them all the best in their future endeavours with updates and things like that for Turbo Sliders Unlimited. And yeah, thank you very much for giving me the game. And yeah, that's it. Review done.